We at the CPR Worldwide Media Network, your constitutional patriot radio station, would like to take a moment to reach out to a portion of our listening audience. To the NSA, the mainstream media, to liberals masquerading as conservatives who would like to see us off the air, and to those who are spinning their wheels trying to take us down, we have a special message just for you. At the CPR Worldwide Media Network, we're happy to be your 24/7, 365 obsession because, while you have your little panties in a wad, we're speaking truth to power, telling real conservatives what you don't want them to hear, the truth. And we're not gonna stop. Now then, back under your collective bridges with the rest of your fellow trolls, and oh yes, thanks for listening to CPR.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet. Check out our website at www.cprworldwidemedia.com and our Facebook page at facebook.com/CPR Worldwide Media. This is CPR Media Network, coming to you live from the USA.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
You're listening to Right Side Patriots on Christmas Eve, right here on CPR Worldwide Media.
We, the people.
And welcome to Right Side Patriots. Craig Andreessen from the National Patriot, Diane Sori from the Patriot Factor. And folks, regardless of what you may have heard over the last day or so, we are live on Christmas Eve.
Totally live and very happy to be here.
We want to wish a happy last day of Hanukkah to all of our listeners who are Jews or are Jewish, which is kind of like Jew-lite.
Well, conservative, Orthodox, Reform, take your pick.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're covering the gambit. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. And, Diane, one of the strangest of all Jewish traditions surrounding Hanukkah is the lighting of the menorah. Whoever thought it was a good idea to light 7 candles and put them in a window near the drapes?
Well, first of all, it's 8.
Oh, it's 8. Well, I missed a day.
It's not 7, it's 8. And, people know the story, I guess, about the Maccabees and the battles they were in, and they had no light, and they only had oil for one day, and it lasted miraculously for 8 days. And they won, of course. And, what can I really say?
It's a wonder they didn't burn down their own houses in the process.
That's true. But back then, the houses were not quite the materials we, use now. They weren't wooden and all that. So there was little chance of them, coming down. And anyway, back then they didn't have windows, Craig.
Well, then where did they put the menorah?
They put it in the windows, but there were no glass there.
Oh.
There were no drapes there.
Well, and that's one of the primary reasons. See, they had the menorah and it was drawing bugs because they go to the flames, and that's one of the reasons for the invention of glass, I think. Well, you don't want flies in the matzah.
That's true, but I really think they invented glass to keep the cold out. Not the flies out, but whatever.
I mean, you just know back in the day, Jewish
Craig's
bakeries.
been hitting the eggnog, folks.
Well, I have. But, back in the day, Jewish bakeries, Saul, you put raisins in the matzah. Those aren't raisins.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I'm just saying. I'll tell you what, it is Christmas Eve, folks, and we're going to do a little special salute to our friends in the military for Christmas Eve today. Looking forward to that. We're going to get into some fun Christmas facts, maybe some things you didn't know about, Christmas traditions and Christmas music, things like that. We've got a special segment today on what Congress has given all of us for Christmas.
Oh, yes, aren't we happy little recipients of major coal in our stockings?
Did you get a card from Congress or a card from Obama? I didn't.
Oh, I didn't. Craig, a card from Obama for you and me? The only thing Obama would send us is an arrest warrant.
Well, I didn't even get anything from the alphabets, and they know our address.
Well, so does Obama.
What?
But, no, nothing from the alphabets either. I guess, at Christmas time, they're letting us just, talk on.
I'm feeling a little left out. I thought they'd at least, send us a shut the hell up card or something.
Yeah, right. Well, they send that to us in other ways when they try to knock us off the air.
Speaking of somebody that we all wish would shut the hell up, what do you say we contact Mohammed, our moderate Muslim intern, Mohammed Hussein Obama, and see if he's got quick hitters for us on Christmas Eve?
Do we really need him on Christmas? Yeah, I guess we do. He'll be highly insulted if we don't wake him up, I guess.
They're insulted by everything. If the wind shifts direction, they're insulted.
True.
But let's give it a shot. Hey, Mohammed, are you around? Diane, you want to wish Mohammed a Merry Christmas?
Well, no, if I wish Muhammad a Merry Christmas, according to them, that's worse than anything. He'll come and chop my head off.
Well, I don't know about that.
He'll hop on the ballistic camel, and he'll head on over to Florida, and he'll search me out and chop my head off.
Hey, Muhammad,
but, okay,
Diane.
you know what? Merry Christmas, Muhammad. Stick it up your butt.
He says shove it in your stocking. Muhammad, do you have quick hitters for us today? Well, fire up the Intercontinental Ballistic Camel and shoot those things on. Oh, I shouldn't say shoot. Send those things on over here. Well, I got mine.
I got mine.
Well, let's see what we've got here today. Well, this first one looks a little, three of them. Actually, all four of them are kind of seasonal when you get right down to it. Let's start in Derby, England. That's where Andy and Stacy Skies take up their residence. And, like so many other people, they went and got a Christmas tree, a real one. They do this every year. They got it home and found out that their Christmas tree was bugged.
Yes, literally bugged. Not the kind of bug that we get, but bugged.
The tree had aphids.
Yes, it did. And the eggs hatched. They couldn't see them on the tree. Remember, these things are microscopic. And now their whole home is invaded with bugs thanks to their Christmas tree.
Well, and they when they first started seeing them, they were just laying on the floor, apparently laying on their backs with their little legs up in the air, twitching. And, aphids, I see aphids like on rose bushes and things like that, and they're not horribly destructive, but it's just kind of gross to have them by the hundreds inside your house.
Well, they're itchy. They're very itchy is the thing. They're kind of akin to fleas.
Yeah.
If they bite you.
Well, so what they did, what Andy and Stacy Skies did, Diana, was they started trimming the tree. Now, we think of trimming the tree is putting decorations on it. They actually started trimming branches off the tree.
Yes, and now their tree is just a little stalk trunk sticking up in the air, and poor people right before Christmas, but it was very big of IKEA where they got their tree to offer them and anybody else with bugs a refund. Merry Christmas, a lump of coal in their stockings.
And apparently they weren't the only ones. Apparently there was a lot of people that were complaining about it, and as well they should. But by the time the Skies got done, their Christmas tree looked worse than Charlie Brown's.
Oh, Charlie Brown's was so cute.
Yeah, but not the Skies tree. The Skies tree is just a stick. So they're going to get their money back, apparently. I don't know what they're doing for a tree, though.
Well, it's probably a little too late to worry about a tree at this point. It's already Christmas Eve over in Britain.
Boy, it is. Maybe they went out and got one of those pine tree air fresheners and just put their presents around that. That's festive, isn't it?
The ones that we stick in our artificial trees to get them to smell like the real ones.
Yeah, but it works, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yes, it does. And it has kept the cats away from my tree.
See, it serves a dual purpose. Well, good luck to the Skies over in Derby, England. We hope they have a Merry Christmas and they have an aphid-free New Year.
Oh, I hope so, because no one wants to enter the new year itching themselves to death, scratching.
Now we go to this is just bizarre. L.V. Anderson apparently is a writer for the uber liberal Slate, which is an online liberal propaganda thing. Mm-hmm. And L.V. Anderson seems to think that Christmas is just not on the right place in the calendar.
Well, there is some logic to his thinking because many religious archaeologists have deduced that Jesus was not born in December, but was actually born in March. The only thing is, they are leaving well enough alone. This man really wants to switch a tradition that has been around for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, but he's picking February 7th.
I know, which is an odd date because all the theologians are saying it is closer to March 25th, that it's off by months, but the date itself might be correct.
Well, the reason we do it on December 25th, it was, originally was kind of to overtake the Druids and the pagan solstice, winter solstice celebrations and things like that. Plus, to me, it makes sense to do it in December. Because then the retailers get a big surge right before the end of the year. If you do it in March, then it kind of butts up against St. Patrick's Day.
Well, listen. Well, that's not a major holiday, but listen to this
Oh, wait,
woman's
it is to
logic.
us Scotsmen.
For a small minority, it's a big
Great.
holiday.
Now I'm a minority.
But listen to her logic for this. She said she wants to switch it from December 25th to February 7th because it's too close to Thanksgiving and puts a strain on people's wallets, travel, and holiday parties. She wants to work on as she calls, the function of Christmas as opposed to the meaning of Christmas. So she wants to switch the whole thing around, basically, because it's too inconvenient for her because she runs out of money from Thanksgiving.
Well, it seems to me, when it comes down to the monetary end of it, and that's really not the reason for the season, but when it comes down to the monetary end of it, Christmas is going to put a strain on your wallet. I don't care what time of year you do it.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, you have to buy presents for people you don't even talk about during the year, but they call you up and say, we're coming over with Christmas gifts, and then you got to run out and buy them something. I mean, we've kind of lost the true meaning of Christmas over the years. The gifts are fine. I mean, it's wonderful to see beautifully wrapped packages and all that, but most people forget what Christmas really is about.
Well, and how funny would people look at you, though, if you walked over to their house and rang the doorbell and said, hey, we brought you some myrrh for Christmas.
Yeah, or what was it? Cinnamon and myrrh and
frankincense.
All sorts
Now,
of spices.
if they brought you gold, because it was gold, frankincense, and myrrh, if your neighbors bring you gold,
yes.
You've got good neighbors.
Hey, yeah.
But if they bring you
That gold could be
frankincense and
used
myrrh,
to pay for all the Christmas presents you rang up on your credit cards.
yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. I mean, leave it to a liberal. February 7th. Ugh.
I mean, yeah, and then she says because that's in the dead of winter and it'll warm everybody up. Let me, tell me the logic, Craig, how a date of the year is going to warm me up. You mean a gift is going to warm me up?
Well, if you got electric socks.
Or if you get a space heater.
Well, yeah. Here's my big problem with February 7th. It's too close. It's absolutely too close to Groundhog's Day.
And to Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day.
Some not so nice, husbands, or as my girlfriends and I call them, spousal units. Then they'll come back and they'll say, I can combine my Christmas gift and my Valentine gift into one gift.
I just don't want anything getting in the way of my week-long celebration of a rodent who diagnoses the weather.
And usually gets it wrong.
Well, rodents are rodents, but, seriously, Groundhog's Day is my favorite holiday of the year.
Punxsutawney or whatever his name is. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, think about it. You don't have to buy anybody gifts. There's no
True.
big meal to cook, unless, of course, you're going to serve sausage, which is ground hog.
Oh.
You don't have to go traveling if you don't want to. Relatives aren't popping over unannounced. It's a great holiday.
True. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, and I don't want Christmas up next to that. Because
No,
then people
I don't either.
People come for Rodent Day and they'll stay all the way through Christmas. You don't want that.
And they'll throw Valentine's Day in there too. They'll do kill 3 birds with 1 stone. No.
No, it's just fine where it is, December 25th. Now, at the end of March, if we do it then, it kind of, I don't know, it gets in the way of March Madness and the NCAA basketball playoffs.
Hey, I have one thing to say about those playoffs. Go Duke. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
And now we have heard the entirety of Diane's sports knowledge. Oh, shoot. Well, let's move on here. Yeah, we're talking about putting a strain on the wallet, Diane. The 12 Days of Christmas is costing more this year.
Yes, very, very interesting how they added this up and come up with an astronomical figure if you bought everything in the song, The 12 Days of Christmas.
Now, first of all, you have to understand, if you buy everything in the song, you're actually buying, you think it's 12 gifts or 20 gifts, it actually comes out to 364 gifts.
Yes.
And if you have that romantic notion that you're going to, treat somebody to the 12 days of Christmas, including the ladies dancing and the maids of milking and all of that, the cost of it this year is $116,000.
Yes. Craig, why don't we run down the list really fast? You take half, I'll take half, and
you know what? You're going to have to
let
take
our listeners be shocked.
You're going to have to take the whole thing because I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Everybody is familiar with the song On the First Day of Christmas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. The Partridge, last year was $20. This year, last year the Partridge was $15. This year it's $20. Pear Tree, last year $184, this year $188. 2 Turtle Doves, $125 both years. 3 French Hens, last year $165, this year $181.
Wow.
4 Calling Birds, Canaries, both this year and last year $600. 5 Gold Rings, $750. Price of gold hasn't changed. 6 Geese a-laying, last year $210. This year, are you ready, guys? $360.
Wow.
7 Swans swimming, $7,000.
Holy cow, $1,000 a swan?
Yes. 8 Maids of milking. Now, this, I wonder if this is by the hour. $58, the same as last year.
Yeah, that's the union fee.
That's the union fee.
Yeah.
9 Ladies dancing per performance, $7,553. The same as last year. They didn't get a COLA increase.
And that does not, wait a minute, that does not include the $1 bills you tuck in. Well, those are different ladies dancing. I'm sorry.
We better not go there on Christmas.
Okay.
10 Lords a-leaping per performance, $5,348. Last year it was $5,243. Well, at least the women are worth more than the men here. 11
they're
Pipers.
lords a-leaping. I mean...
11 Pipers piping per performance, $2,635. Again, stayed the same from last year.
Yeah, but and that 12, is good. Now, wait a minute, though. The Pipers piping, that isn't the cost of that going to depend on whether or not you're in Colorado? Because the Pipers piping there might be piping
what kind
something
of pipe
different.
You're using, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and 12 drummers drumming per performance, $2,855, the same as last year, bringing you up to the astronomical total of $116,273. But, folks, it's only a modest 1.4% increase from a year ago. Oh, gee.
I'm going to pass on buying that as a gift for somebody. I mean, first of all, what do you do with all those partridges and pear trees?
I don't know. Well, I'd eat the pears from the pear trees, but I'd leave the partridges alone.
I'd eat the French hens.
You would, absolutely. Hey, you could have turtle doves, you can have French hens, partridges, calling birds, geese, swans. Hey, Craig, this is a regular carnivor's heaven here.
It's like a buffet.
Yes.
Wow. And finally, I don't know about this. Obama was at a function the other day, and he was overheard saying something that just left me nearly speechless, Diane.
Yeah.
He said that he is Jewish in his soul.
First of all, Barack Hussein Obama has no soul. Second of all, he is not Jewish in anything. The man hates Jews. He hates Israel. He especially hates Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, I think if he dared to say that in front of Netanyahu, I think he would bitch slap him, but good.
I would hope so.
Or, yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. He was at a Hanukkah candle lighting ceremony, and I'm looking at a picture here. He's got this smirk on his face, and the moo. She has a look of such contempt on her face. If I was in front of her, I'd bitch slap her. Just for her look.
I'm guessing everybody in that audience that was Jewish that heard that just wanted to grab a lit menorah and shove it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the video of it. And the look of contempt on this woman's face. I mean, I don't know what religion Michelle Obama is. I don't know if she's a Muslim like her husband. I don't know. You know, they sat in Wright's GD church for 20 years, you know, and hallelujah at everything he said. So we know they're not Christian. But, I mean, this is an insult. This is an insult. The man sides with the people that want to, you know, wipe Israel off the map, but he's Jewish in his soul. Well, the man who keeps calling ISIL in honor of the Levant. Please, this is sickening.
Let me tell you something. When he said it, he was actually laughing.
Ah ha ha.
And I, you know, look, I don't know what's worse. Okay, having Obama wrapping up Hanukkah or having Joe Biden open it, because they had Biden open Hanukkah.
True.
And I mean, I didn't see the video, but I can just imagine, Mr. Foot and Mouth Disease, Joe Biden, opening up Hanukkah. As I understand it, as Obama closed it right before he said that he was Jewish in his soul, quote unquote, I understand that Obama ran up to the menorah, yelled, "Everybody make a wish," and then blew out the candles.
Yeah, he probably would. He probably would. But you know what, guys? There's a little something else about our wonderful president. And while, you know, we're trying to go politically light here today, I just want everybody to know that at the first funeral of one of the police officers killed this week, assassinated this week, again, Obama is not attending. He is sending Joe Biden as the White House emissary to Raphael's funeral.
Ramos.
Yeah. I mean, Ramos, whatever. I'm just so upset about this. He will not even go to the funeral. He has not gone on television to issue a formal statement. All he did was issue a little written couple of lines, which we know he didn't write, which is pure BS. But now he's sending Uncle Joe to this.
If you were the Ramos family, would you want him there? I wouldn't.
No. I wouldn't want any of them there. But okay, let's get back to the happiness that's the holidays.
Well, and we do have a lot of holiday fun planned for the show today because it is Christmas Eve, folks. Yes. We're going to be talking about Christmas fun facts, and I think Diane has a politically correct or non-politically correct Christmas poem.
No, it's politically correct. It's the way our Christmas carols should be, according to the liberals, that is.
Okay. A little bit later in the show, we are going to have a very special salute to the men and women in uniform on Christmas Eve because, you know, they're stationed all around the world, keeping us safe, making the world safer for other people. What a thankless job. They have not only them, but their families as well.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking with U.S. Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, Travis Anderson. And Travis just recently returned from Iraq and thankfully is going to be spending Christmas at home this year. But we're going to kind of get a little idea from him what things were like at Christmas time when you're stationed overseas.
Yes.
Also, a very special message from our own Living Right.
Yes, and he's also the son of a military person that was killed. So his message is especially poignant.
Well, and that's something that a lot of people don't think about. What about the family members who are left behind when somebody doesn't come back from deployment? And so we're going to bring you that. And then to wrap up the show today, the Christmas present Congress has given to all of us.
What a lump of coal in our stockings that is.
Folks, hang on. Diane and I will be back after this with more on Right Side Patriots.
Why do cities shine so bright? It's the glow of opportunities, of ideas bouncing off one another, of countless people, every one of us, striving to succeed. Right now, in cities everywhere, ideas are being born. New thinking that will put us in awe of what people are capable of. That's what lights cities up. And helping people and their ideas to burn even brighter, so that communities, businesses, and you and I can grow. What if a bank made that its job? For more than 200 years, Citi's job has been to help empower people and business. Now, around the world, it's wherever people gather, wherever ideas come alive. It's wherever you are. The world's city.
It's not about how many miles you can get out of the C-Max Hybrid. It's about how much life you can fit into it. The Ford C-Max Hybrid, with an EPA estimated range of 540 miles on a tank of gas, and all the room you need to enjoy the trip. Go stretch out. Go further.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
The first thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me is finding a Christmas tree. The second thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The third thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fourth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fifth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me, 5 months of bills,
sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The sixth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
facing my in-laws,
5 months of bills.
I hate those Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up these lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The seventh thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
Salvation Army,
facing my in-laws,
5 months of bills,
sending Christmas cards. Oh jeez, I'm trying to rig up these lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The eighth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
I want Red Farmer for Christmas.
Charities, and what do you mean your in-laws?
5 months of bills.
Making out these cards. You just get me up here, huh? Well, we have no extension cords.
Finding a Christmas tree. The ninth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
Finding parking spaces.
Daddy, I want some candy.
Donations.
Facing my in-laws.
5 months of bills.
Writing out those Christmas cards.
Hangovers. Now why the hell are they blinking?
And finding a Christmas tree. The 10th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Batteries not included.
No parking spaces.
Buy me something.
Get a job, you bum.
Facing the in-laws.
5 months of bills.
Yo ho, sending Christmas cards.
Oh, jeez, look at this. One light goes out, they all go out.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 11th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Stale TV special.
Batteries not included.
No parking spaces.
Mom, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Charities.
She's a witch, I hate her.
5 months of bills.
Oh, I don't even know half these people.
Who's got the toilet paper? Get a flashlight and no fuse.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 12th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Singing Christmas carols.
Stale TV special.
Batteries not included.
No parking. Charities.
Gotta make them dinner.
5 months of bills.
I'm not sending them this year, that's it.
Shut up, you. Fine, you're so smart. You ring up the lights.
And finding a Christmas tree.
And we're back on Right Side Patriots, your two pains of Christmas. Craig Andreessen from the National Patriot, Diane Story from the Patriot Factor, on a Christmas Eve, live as live can be. And Diane, you've got a very special Christmas poem to read.
Yes, it's a little bit different than what people expect, but okay, guys, are you ready for this one? Kind of goes with Craig's song a little bit. Okay, this is called a politically correct Christmas poem. 'Twas the night before Christmas and Santa's a wreck. How to live in a world that's politically correct. His workers no longer would answer to elves. Vertically challenged, they were calling themselves. And labor conditions at the North Pole were alleged by the Union to stifle the soul. 4 reindeer had vanished without much propriety, released to the wilds by the Humane Society. And equal employment had made it quite clear that Santa had better not use just reindeer. So Dancer and Donner, Comet and Cupid were replaced with 4 pigs, and you know that looked stupid. The rumors have been removed from runners have been removed from his beautiful sleigh because the ruts were deemed dangerous by the EPA. And millions of people were calling the cops when they heard sled noises upon their rooftops. Secondhand smoke from his pipe had his workers quite frightened, and his fur-trimmed red suit was called unenlightened. To show you the strangeness of today's ebbs and flows, Rudolph was suing over unauthorized use of his nose. He went to Geraldo in front of the nation, demanding millions in overdue workmen's compensation. So half of the reindeer were gone, and his wife, who suddenly said she'd had enough of this life, joined a self-help group, packed and left in a whiz, demanding from now on that her title was Ms. And as for gifts, why, he'd never had the notion that making a choice could cause such commotion. Nothing of leather, nothing of fur, which means nothing for him or nothing for her. Nothing to aim, nothing to shoot, nothing that clamored or made lots of noise. Nothing for just girls and nothing for just boys. Nothing that claimed to be gender specific, nothing that's warlike or non-pacifistic. No candy, no sweets, they were bad for the tooth. Nothing that seemed to embellish upon the truth. And fairy tales, while not yet forbidden, were like Ken and Barbie, better off hidden. For they raised the hackle of those psychological who claimed the only good gift was one ecological. No baseball, no football, someone might get hurt. Besides, playing sports exposed kids to dirt. Dolls were said to be sexist and should be passé, and Nintendo would rot your entire brain away. So Santa just stood there disheveled and perplexed. He just couldn't figure out what to do next. He tried to be merry, he tried to be gay, but you must have to admit he was having a very bad day. His sack was quite empty, it was flat on the ground. Nothing fully acceptable was anywhere to be found. Something special was needed, a gift that he might give to us all without angering the left or the right, a gift that would satisfy with no indecision each group of people in every religion, every race, every hue, everyone everywhere, even you. So here is that gift, its price beyond worth. May you and your loved ones enjoy peace on earth. And guess what, folks? That ain't happening this Christmas.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's a better chance of snow on the sun right now than that.
Right. Sadly, isn't it?
But that is a politically correct Christmas right there.
Yeah, and that kind of stinks, doesn't it?
It takes all the fun right out of it. And we've got our own problems with political correctness. I mean, it's going to kill everybody eventually. If we're all politically correct enough, it's going to kill us. But when you try and make something as fun and as festive as Christmas time politically correct, you're just sucking the fun right out of the room.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And they've also sucked the fun out of the Christmas songs, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at some of the Christmas songs, if you're going to go politically correct on some of that stuff, it's, chestnuts roasting on an environmentally friendly fuel source.
Yeah, Rudolph the endangered and exploited species.
We three politically oppressive patriarchs.
Rocking around the recycled, flame-retardant, artificial holiday tree.
For everybody with Obamacare, all I want for Christmas is a dental plan.
Frosty the snow person.
Well, it all depends on where you put the carrot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I saw Mommy suing Santa Claus for sexual harassment.
I'm dreaming of a racially diverse Christmas.
Here's one just for our moderate Muslim intern, Mohammed Hussein Obama. Mohammed, are you still listening to the show over there? Got a politically correct Christmas carol for you. I'll be home for Ramadan. He says
likes
don't come
that
over.
One.
Yeah.
And how about this one, folks? We wish you a non-sectarian holiday.
Oh, yeah? Well, Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and everything else.
Yeah, you can't, load political correctness into Christmas. You just can't.
No, it's very sad. Christmas is a time the children, they come down, they open their presents, they're happy with what they get. Can you imagine having to give your child, who may be a boy that wants a G.I. Joe or a girl that wants a Barbie, and you go into the store and find out, no, we don't sell those anymore. They're not politically correct.
And there is a group. Now, for instance, this isn't like the unisex toys, but, well, in a way it kind of is. There is a feminist movement that is now trying to put warning labels on toys that are gender specific.
Yes. I mean, this is carrying political correctness too far. I mean, girls like dolls. Most girls, not all girls. Of course, we have our tomboys, and they can have G.I. Joe. Yeah. But I mean, this is carrying it a bit too far. You can only buy so many stuffed animals, and then even they get sex specific.
Well, speaking of animals in Christmas, let's start with a little of the kind of the fun and interesting facts that surround some of our Christmas traditions that maybe a lot of people don't realize. And these are all true, folks. We're not making up any of this stuff. Now, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Diane, do you know where that came from, where Rudolph came from? And don't say the North Pole, but I mean, who thought this up?
I'm actually not too sure about that one.
Well,
Tell me.
It was a publicist who worked for Montgomery Ward's old department store. Monkey Ward's isn't around anymore. But one of their publicists saw this as a way to kind of, entice people to bring their kids to the store, for Christmas shopping and things like that. Now, here's something else. Rudolph originally did not have a red nose.
Oh, well, maybe he caught a cold and it turned red.
Well, see, now the guy who thought it up wanted Rudolph to have a red nose, but the head muckety-mucks at Monkey Wards said, no, if you put a red nose on the deer, people will think the deer is drunk.
Oh, my gosh. How
Now,
about the deer has a cold and he blew his nose too hard?
Well, you have to go back to, this all came about in like 1946. Apparently, that's the way people thought back then.
I thought Rudolph was older than that. Oh, well.
No, and see, that's something else people don't realize is, some of these traditions are fairly short. Now, for instance, do you know how long Christmas has been celebrated as an official holiday here in the United States?
Really, I believe somewhere in the 1850s, if I'm not mistaken.
You're close. 1870, June 26th, 1870 is when Christmas was made an official holiday by the U.S. government.
Wow. Well, I do know during the Puritan times, they were not happy if anybody celebrated Christmas. It was strictly pious, the day of Jesus' birth, and they wanted no celebrations around it whatsoever.
It was even outlawed in Boston for a time.
Yes, come on, how straight-laced and boring can you be?
No kidding. Good grief.
Yes.
Let's see here. What else do we have here in the fun facts of Christmas? Let's see.
Here's one for all our certain listeners. Many European countries believed that spirits, both good and evil, were active during the 12 days of Christmas, and that these spirits were what evolved into the modern day thing of Santa's elves.
Huh.
I never knew that one.
Wonder where the elves that bake cookies in hollow trees came from.
I don't know. Maybe they were the spawn of the other elves.
Did you know that Teddy Roosevelt actually banned Christmas trees from the White House while he was president?
No, I didn't. Well, he was very much of an environmentalist.
Yeah, he, that was his thing, and he didn't want a tree cut down and dragged into the White House, so he banned it while he was the president. And we talked earlier in the show. We talked about the couple over in Derby, England, the Skies, Andy and Stacy Sky, and their tree had aphids. Do you know how many real Christmas trees are sold every year in this country?
No, how many?
Between 30 and 35 million.
Wow, that's
and the average.
You know why that's amazing
to
me,
be
Craig? Because how many
old.
times around Christmas, even as late as Christmas Eve, do you pass Christmas tree stands and there's still tons of trees there?
I know. It seems like every year. I know that we've got one here in town. I just drove by it yesterday, and they're still looks like they're fully stocked.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, but hey, if it's a fact, it's a fact. And guys, did you know that every year there are approximately 20,000 Rent-A-Santas across the U.S.? And these men are usually trained. They get seasonal training on how to maintain a jolly attitude under pressure from the public. And they also receive practical advice, such as not to accept money from parents while children are looking away and avoiding eating garlic, onions, and beans for lunch.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh,
dear. we were talking about politically correct Christmas songs. Well, here's some Christmas song facts.
Okay.
That you may not know. Jingle Bells. Everybody sings Jingle Bells at Christmas, right? It was originally a Thanksgiving song.
Now that I didn't know.
It actually had, it was written by James Lord Pierpont to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who knew?
Yeah, I guess that's the call to dinner, the bells. Maybe was that what it meant?
Maybe. Speaking of bells, the song Silver Bells.
Okay.
You know, Silver Bells, Silver Bells.
That's a pretty song.
Yeah. Originally, the lyric was Tinkle Bells.
Oh dear, no wonder they changed it.
Yep, because the guy who wrote it, his wife said, people are going to think you're talking about bells that urinate.
Oh dear.
That's absolutely true. I'm not making that up.
Well, here's something that'll turn everybody off, whoever, kisses under the mistletoe. Mistletoe is from the Anglo-Saxon word mistletoe, which means little dung twig, not tree, little dung twig, because the plant spreads through bird droppings. Oh, I will never kiss anyone under mistletoe again.
Ew.
Yeah, thought you'd like that one.
Ew. Let's see here. The very first Christmas song to mention Santa Claus. Now, it was written in 1864.
Okay.
Written by Benjamin Hanby, Up on the Housetop.
Oh,
Up
that's
on the Housetop.
interesting.
Old Saint Nick. It's the first Christmas song to mention Santa Claus. Now, everybody watches How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Sure.
Okay, now, the Jim Carrey version, by the way, the live action one with Jim Carrey this will stun a lot of people, is the top selling Christmas movie of all time.
More than, what's that one with Jimmy Stewart?
That one's my favorite. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, sure.
More than any other Christmas movie ever made, Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch is the top selling. But in the original cartoon version, how many people know who sang the theme song for that? You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, I used to know that.
Now, the gentleman just passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I used to know that one.
His name was Thurl Ravenscroft.
Yeah.
And outside of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, most people remember him, not by name, but by a whole series of commercials that were on TV forever and still air today. Frosted Flakes. He was the voice of Tony the Tiger.
I would think the biggest Christmas movie, cartoon, or whatever on television would have been A Charlie Brown Christmas, but
well, now that might be the most watched one on television, but I'm saying the highest sales
actually
of any Christmas movie, Jim Carrey and The Grinch. Now, speaking of The Grinch, don't do this during our show, folks. But sometime when you have a chance, go to YouTube and look up Mike Rowe. You remember Mike Rowe, the host of Dirty Jobs.
Oh, yes.
Pitchman for our friends at Ford Motor Company. Okay. He's got a video out. Somebody said, if you will sing the theme song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, while wearing your bathrobe with your dog in front of you, they will donate $1,000 to a charity that Mike Rowe works with. So he did it. And it's posted. You can find it on YouTube. Mike Rowe, R-O-W-E. That guy has an incredible singing voice. He sounds just like Thurl Ravenscroft.
Yes,
He's not
does.
lip syncing. He
does.
Oh, fantastic! If you haven't, it only lasts a minute or so. And if you have a chance, you want to go find that because it's really kind of cool.
It is, folks. I mean, I heard it and I'm like, wow. Well, here's a little something in case, you have children around right now. You might want to cover their ears. This is not dirty. It's just about Santa Claus. Okay, so cover their ears. Apparently, the Viking god Odin is the one who is the precursor to the modern-day Santa Claus. According to myth, Odin rode his flying horse, Sleipnir, which is a precursor to Santa's reindeer, because this horse had 8 legs, and in the winter, Odin gave out both gifts and punishments, and children would fill their boots or stockings with treats from his horse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's where that was the origin then of Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's from the Vikings. I find that very interesting.
Well, see, and this is what happens. Over the centuries, these traditions get picked up and adopted and changed, and they evolve, and they things get switched around just a little bit. But it's interesting to go back and find the originals.
Well, here's something interesting that it's on a more serious note, but it's an interesting Christmas fact. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, probably one of the few things that the UN actually does that's good, there are 2,106 million children under age 18 in the world. If there are an average of 2.5 children per household, Santa would have to make 842 million stops on Christmas Eve, traveling 221 million miles to reach all 842 million stops. Santa would need to travel between houses in 2 10,000ths of a second, which means he would need to accelerate 12.19 million miles per second on each stop. The force of this acceleration would reduce Santa to chunky salsa.
Oh, man. That is faster than the Intercontinental Ballistic Camel.
Yeah, I think Muhammad's little friend has some competition here.
Good grief. Man,
Yes.
oh man. Chunky salsa.
Yes.
Wow.
I guess the salsa is because of his red suit.
I'm guessing. Probably leave a pile of bean dip in the sleigh. Something to accelerate that fast.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, let me do just one more here, because this really kind of I'll pick this up after our short break. What do you think the most popular Christmas song today is that's been recorded?
I would assume, off the top of my head, White Christmas.
Well, now, White Christmas is the top selling, but that doesn't necessarily mean today it's the most popular. The most popular today, excuse me, is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Seriously?
Yeah, I know. I read that and I went, really? Really? I'll tell you, one of my favorites is the correlation, or the combination of Bing Crosby and David Bowie singing Drummer Boy.
Oh, I've heard that. Yes.
Which is pretty cool. But the reason I wanted to do this one with Mariah Carey is because after the break, and again, her song is All I Want for Christmas Is You, I'm going to play my favorite version of that song, and it's not Mariah Carey.
Okay, who is it?
Well, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to play it. But it's got a little bit of almost a bluesy feel to it.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's one of those songs that a partner of mine in radio back in the day found. We played it every year back then, and I really, really like it. So we're going to play that for you after the break. And folks, when we get back after that, a special salute to the men and women of the United States military on Christmas Eve. Stay where you are. Don't go anywhere. Diane and I will be back with more on CPR with Right Side Patriots after this.
I believe that every single one of us has what it takes
to win back-to-back gold. Ski faster than any other human.
I believe it's possible to overcome fear.
I believe
it's possible to destroy stereotypes.
To start over, to be the toughest,
the strongest,
the bravest in the world.
And when we work together, we can make it all possible. That's why Citi has donated $500,000 to its Every Step of the Way program, an initiative created to help future athletes reach their full potential through sport programs that inspire us.
Like figure skating in Harlem.
Like youth enrichment services. Like Team for Tomorrow.
The Team USA Stay on the Slopes initiative. Now spread the word and help decide how much of that money goes toward
offering personal support and financial assistance to Olympians in need.
Promoting the growth of hockey in the U.S.
expanding the sport of luge into new regions.
Support for wounded service members.
Join Team City and let's turn a world of potential into reality.
Go to city.com/everystep and help decide where the money goes.
The design of the Ford Escape is clearly intended to grab your eye. Oh, and your foot. Huh, ain't that a kick? The Ford Escape with the foot-activated liftgate. Go open up something interesting. Go further.
We at the CPR Worldwide Media Network, your constitutional patriot radio station, would like to take a moment to reach out to a portion of our listening audience. To the NSA, the mainstream media, to liberals masquerading as conservatives who would like to see us off the air, and to those who are spinning their wheels trying to take us down, we have a special message just for you. At the CPR Worldwide Media Network, we're happy to be your 24/7, 365 obsession because, while you have your little panties in a wad, we're speaking truth to power, telling real conservatives what you don't want them to hear, the truth. And we're not gonna stop. Now then, back under your collective bridges with the rest of your fellow trolls, and oh yes, thanks for listening to CPR.
This is a station identification moment. You're listening to CPR Worldwide Media, a division of CPR Media Network, coming to you live right across the planet. Check out our website at www.cprworldwidemedia.com and our Facebook page at facebook.com/CPR Worldwide Media. This is CPR Media Network, coming to you live from the USA.
Well, looky here, a new listener. Hey, this ain't your little sister's radio station.
Take back the tinsel, stockings and bows.
we're back on Right Side Patriots. Craig Andreessen and Diane Sori. Isn't that a great version of that song, Diane?
Yes, it is. But honestly, I can't understand why that's the most popular. I really don't.
Well, that one's not. The Mariah Carey version is.
No, I mean just the song in general.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. But that was Vince Vaughn and the Valiants, and the lead singer on that is a woman by the name of Lisa Lane. And what a great voice.
Yeah, she does have a great voice. And I do like the little bit of bluesiness, jazz to it. That was kind of neat.
It's got a great saxophone riff in there. We're going to hear a little bit more from that same group right before the end of the show because they put out some great stuff. And they've been around for a long time. But, I dug into the vault to get some of that today.
Yes, you did.
I really dug into the vault. Well, look, folks, Christmas is a tough time to be in the military. When you're stationed overseas, somewhere else in the world, or even for those who are stationed here at home, and still can't make it home for the holiday, it's tough. And it's not easy for families either, Diane.
No, not at all. And our military under this administration is so unappreciated. It's a crime in and of itself. So we want to honor them. We want to honor them. And we have some ex-military who are going to be on our show and say a few words.
Well, let's talk to Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, Travis Anderson, who is luckily now home for Christmas. He served over in Iraq, doing what was best for this nation and doing it proudly. So let's chat with Travis Anderson about Christmas when you're stationed overseas.
Okay.
Well, we are pleased to be joined by U.S. Marine Travis Anderson on our special Christmas edition from CPR Worldwide Media. And Diane, I think before we even get into the whole Christmas thing, we need to thank Travis for everything that he has done for our country.
Yes, I personally would like to thank you on behalf of CPR and my Right Side Patriot partner, Craig Andreessen. Thank you so much for your service to this country.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
But and Diane, that is the typical response you get from any member of the military. No problem. But we kind of know better.
We know there's a lot of problems serving. You put your lives on the line every day to keep us safe and free at home. And we, the people, really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but the problem of being away from his family, during the holiday, during Christmas time. Travis, it could not have been easy, and I know you've got a little son that I'm sure you would have liked to have been around during those special times.
Yeah, it's kind of just one of those things. You sign up, you do what you do, especially if you're in a combat role. I was in the infantry with 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines, and my son was actually born on my second deployment, and I was lucky enough to be transferred to our company position to watch his birth on Skype. So I was actually there via internet to see him born. But it's hard to be away from your family and everything like that. But then again, you're also there with your other family, your brothers. You got to kind of take it for what it is and look on the other bright side that, hey, I get to spend Christmas with my other family over here too. As much as I'd like to spend Christmas with my significant others back in the States. So you just kind of have to take the lesser of the two evils and just balance it out, I guess.
Yes. Now, where exactly were you stationed? Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah. I was stationed in North Carolina, deployed to Marja, Afghanistan, and South Helmand. I was part of the major invasion Operation Mashtarak down there in South Helmand for it was the Taliban's and Al Qaeda's last known stronghold down there. So we invaded the city down there, and then did 8 months there, ripped out with our sister battalion over there, 2-9, and then came back 9 months later to the same place.
Wow.
Now let me ask you
We're
this.
in harm's way for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Well, let me ask you this, because we're really talking about Christmas and what it was like. Far too often, I think people forget the sacrifices that are made by family that are here at home, while somebody they love and depend on is deployed overseas. This, Christmas time could not have been easy on your family back here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know it had to have been hard. I mean, my mom was always sending care packages to us and my buddies. My wife, I don't know how she did it. She is the most strongest woman I've ever met in my life. She handled giving birth by herself. She handled raising him until he was 5 months old and I got home. She did a lot of stuff that I to this day I would have been easier to deploy.
She's every bit the hero that you are, as far as we're concerned.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it takes special people to stick around for somebody that seems like, like their life is on hold. Your life is on hold because you're deployed, and you get one satellite phone call, maybe once, twice a month if you're lucky, if it connects, So, I don't know how she did it, but it would have been, it was easy. I'll just say it was probably easier to get shot at than it would have been to stay back here.
Well, it's hard on the family. It's hard on the Army wives. But can you tell us a little bit about were any special things done for you guys in the field at Christmas time? Did the Marines do anything special to make you feel more like you were at home?
Not really. It kind of falls on how you and your brothers want to do it. We had like a little tiny Christmas tree that we put up, and we had one of my buddies. He was a machine gunner, Lance Corporal Bull. He had a can of eggnog sent to him in the summer when we first got there because they knew we were going to be there over Christmas, and he saved that can of eggnog until Christmas Day, and we opened it up and drank a can of eggnog. So it's kind of just what you make it. I think we were served maybe a special meal from the company, but other than that, it's kind of just how you handle it and how you make it.
Now, I got to ask, how big a can of eggnog are we talking about here? Are we talking about something that comes from like Costco, like a 55-gallon drum?
I would say it was pretty good. I think it was about a 3-gallon can of eggnog that we all drank and got sick off of. So yeah.
I think you got to hand it to Marines who know that there is a can of eggnog on the premises and manage to stay away from it for 5 or 6 months. I don't think I could.
Oh yeah, we made a pact. Oh yeah, nope, saving it. Someone's hauling it around, and we're gonna save it until Christmas.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But was the military at least good about getting you your letters and packages from home at the time of Christmas?
Yeah, for sure. They try their hardest to do the best they can. With the logistics part, we always look forward to mail call because that's when we got our letters. That's when we got our packages. They also had a thing set up. It was called Moto Mail, which you were supposed to get it within. It was supposed to be shipped and printed and everything. You could do it on the internet, and it was supposed to be done within 48 hours, and you'd hopefully get it, a lot sooner than just regular post office mail, which had to be shipped from the post office, loaded on a C-130 or whatever, and flown. So, it helped. They did what they could with the situations that we were in. Being out in the bush,
right.
They're not going to stop war and deliver mail. Usually they stockpiled your mail and you got it when you got back to the company.
Now, were you ever on the lucky receiving end of Christmas cards from people you never even met in your life, where we see this and we love it when people over here take it upon themselves to just send out Christmas cards to members of the military. Did you ever get any of those? And if you did, what does that mean to a soldier in the field?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of those. We had a lot of school grade kids, like 3rd grade, 4th grade, stuff like that. They made Christmas cards and thank you cards, and we took our share and we kept them. We'd stick them in our flak jacket and hold on to them or in our pack, and we tried to write back as soon as we could to let them know that we received them and everything. And it does mean a lot to think like, oh man, people actually kind of care about us, because when you're over there, it seems like the world stops, and you're there, and you're running and gunning, and I mean every little bit helps.
Right, and I'm proud to say I took part last year in one of those letter writing campaigns to our military overseas, just to let them know that people back home do care. They do care. We might have an administration that doesn't care, but we, the people, really care about the men and women fighting for our freedoms.
Yeah, it's, it means a lot, to see the kids, and they would draw pictures and stuff, and it was just like, man, I'm glad that these kids are growing up knowing that, the military is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, and, it felt good.
Yes, and we appreciate everything you guys do, and the letter writing campaigns are just a small way of showing that appreciation.
Oh yeah, it was good. We also got care packages from them too. Baby wipes, stuff like that, and I mean that helps too. Because there's a lot of guys that don't get mail. They don't have family. I mean, I had a guy in my platoon who, before he joined the Marine Corps, he lived in his Jeep and he used, cardboard boxes from beer to insulate his Jeep. I mean, and it helps a lot. I mean, people don't think it does, but it does.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. Travis Anderson is our very special guest right now on our Christmas Eve special here on CPR Worldwide Media. And Travis, just in the minute or so that we have left, I know you still got brothers and sisters that are halfway around the world on deployment. If you could send them a message, because we know that we have a very good listenership on our bases around the world. If you could say one thing to them this Christmas, what would you like to tell them?
I'd like to tell them, let them know that no matter how far away we were separated, no matter how far away they were deployed from me and the rest of my brothers, to know that I'm always there in spirit. And, I'm glad that they stayed in and are hooking and jabbing while the rest of us got out and basically pursued our lives. And their lives are still on hold, it seems like, for them, deployed and still over there fighting. And I'll always be there for any Marine or any service member that's having trouble or anything. I'm always here.
And we're glad you're home safe and sound and with your family for this Christmas. And again, thank you for everything you've done.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Travis, thank you so much. And to all those who served with you and those who are still over there and deployed, we want to send our best wishes for a Merry Christmas and our most sincere thanks for serving this country and keeping us free. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Travis Anderson, once a Marine, always a Marine, Diane.
Yes, absolutely. That is something that stays with them forever.
Well, what a great guy. And he brought out so many good points. But, there's also those people who have been deployed who don't make it back. And,
yes.
Their families are dealing, in a lot of cases, with a first or second or third Christmas without somebody they really, really loved.
Yes, it's very hard. Imagine growing up without your parent, let's say, who dies of natural causes, but imagine growing up without your parent because they were killed in military action.
Well, we asked our very own Living Right to put together a little piece to remember them, and he knows this topic personally.
Thanks, Craig and Diane. Hey, everybody, this is Living Right. Some people know me as Robert Sanders, and I've been given a golden opportunity today to interview somebody I really hold dear. Served in Vietnam, and I just wanted to go on and talk with him, tell you about him and all. Who I decided to interview was my dad, Robert Sanders Sr. And like I say, Vietnam vet, 3 tours. He really took a bad hit with Agent Orange, gave him a lot of health problems through the years. And, it was rough coming up. He was suffering from PTSD, and, that brought on other problems in the house, and I'm sure some of y'all know what I'm talking about, occasional drinking, really aggressive attitude at times. He woke up at night, a lot of the time with night sweats, and I'm just trying to give you a picture of what my dad, went through. Well, nevertheless, before we get to him, but needless to say, I had a rough childhood, and I rebelled a bit. But, while he was over there, he was an engineer, but he was really close to, he worked with, missiles and, trajectory systems, and he taught me a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't know since I was, little, all the way up till I was older. And, I'm just honored to be able to interview him today, talk to him, and hopefully share some stuff that, not only he can tell you, but similar situations that all of you were in, and you can, here on Christmas Eve, you can feel, I know you feel how I feel already, but nevertheless, I'm having a little trouble getting him on right now. He may be bringing some buddies. There's a lot. He hangs out now with a lot of servicemen. Just a lot. And they're always together. And so he told me he was, possibly going to try to get everybody on that he can get on. So I'm not sure what all we're going to have. But nevertheless, he served, I think it was 68 when he got out, and he came home and decided it was a good time to make a baby boy, and that was me. And, well, nevertheless, he, like I said, we had our problems. We had things that just weren't right. They didn't know what PTSD was till later in his life. And it had already done a lot of damage. It was so bad, and I responded so bad to it that they actually had me sit in on meetings, sit in on the PTSD meetings where they talked about things that happened to him. And, hey, Dad, is that you? Are you on? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Well, nevertheless, I just want to say, how much now, I'm 40-something years old, that I can look back and appreciate what my dad did. And I really wish I could have, I could have been better if I understood his struggle. And, we're all guilty. We don't consider that. Kids don't consider that. These guys coming back today who are suffering from PTSD and they're getting brushed off. It all matters. Okay, well, I'm not sure I'm gonna get to talk to him today. Yeah. See, my dad died several years ago, and I'm sure he's with some of yours who's passed away in service or after service. He had pancreatic cancer. It was the first month they paid him a check for all the health problems he had from Agent Orange. No consideration of how everything affected our family, and the same thing's happening right now. So, to all of you out there who have thought about, your dads or your moms who you lost, you're not alone. There's plenty of us out here. And if you reach out, we can talk and we can learn from each other and maybe we can help. But, I still appreciate this opportunity from Craig and Diane for me to be able to, interview a veteran, to talk, to say what I wanted to say to him. And I know he hears me, and, here on Christmas Eve, I want to say I'm sorry for some of the things I did. I would have never done it thinking about what struggles were going on in your mind. And for those who you never got the closure because your family truly never came home, it feels like they were left there overseas. They just disappeared to you. Just remember them today. It's Christmas Eve, and part of us being happy is part of us understanding and, letting them know we love them. That's about it. I appreciate y'all listening, and I hope you have a good Christmas Eve and Christmas. And just remember, I wasn't trying to bring you down. I was trying to lift them up on a day we normally don't. We try not to think about it. But they're special. They were special to our lives. And we need to never forget and keep them close to our heart. I thank you. And I'm going to turn it back over to Craig and Diane.
Well, Diane, if that doesn't drive it home.
Yeah, that's sad, losing your father. You know, while he wasn't killed in battle, he did die of the injuries, meaning Agent Orange, that he did sustain in battle. And what most people don't know is his son was and is affected by the Agent Orange, as in an Agent Orange baby, they're called.
Well, Robert does so much for this radio station and for you and me personally. We can't thank him enough for putting that piece together for us today, because those oftentimes, when you do a salute to the military, are the people that get left out. And he really, really delivered on that.
Yes, he did, and you can hear in his voice how much he misses his dad and the hell his father went through. And this is what many of our military personnel who come home experience. And instead of being helped every way we can help them, this administration has done everything not to help them. And it's sad.
Folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Christmas that Congress has delivered to all of us.
Yes.
Yikes.
Coal in our stockings.
But we want to thank Travis and Robert for being a part of the show, and our special salute to the military. And folks, if you're out there listening and you are deployed or you know somebody who is, Merry Christmas from all of us.
And thank you for your service.
We'll be back after this.
The most amazing thing about the Ford Fusion isn't the way it looks. The most amazing thing is the way it sees. With blind spot technology, a lane keeping system, and a standard rear view camera, the Fusion is ready for whatever comes your way. Go prepared. Go further.
However dark the night, however dim our hopes, the light is always there within you. His family gave him hope.
You fight harder than those other guys, and you win.
His spirit gave him strength.
We're gonna die out here. You're not dying!
And in his darkest hour,
who is the Olympic athlete?
His faith would not be broken.
Hello, Mother and Father. This will be the first time in 2 years that you'll have heard my voice. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Your loving son, Louis.
On Christmas Day, experience the unbelievable true story of one man's journey home.
You can take it. You can make it. Just gotta believe you can.
If I can take it, I can make it.
Unbroken, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
I believe that every single one of us has what it takes
to win back-to-back gold, ski faster than any other human.
I believe it's possible to overcome fear.
I believe
it's possible to destroy stereotypes.
To start over, to be the toughest,
the strongest,
the bravest in the world.
And when we work together, we can make it all possible. That's why Citi has donated $500,000 through its Every Step of the Way program, an initiative created to help future athletes reach their full potential through sport programs that inspire us.
Like figure skating in Harlem. Like youth enrichment services. Like Team for Tomorrow.
The Team USA Stay on the Slopes initiative. Now spread the word and help decide how much of that money goes toward
offering personal support and financial assistance to Olympians in need.
Promoting the growth of hockey in the U.S.
Expanding the sport of luge into new regions.
Support for wounded service members.
Join Team Citi and let's turn a world of potential into reality.
Go to citi.com/everystep and help decide where the money goes.
Come on, Harry!
Dumb and Dumber 2 is the #1 movie in America.
Am I right? What?
Seriously, it's #1.
These guys are morons! I like her a lot.
Dumb and Dumber 2, rated PG-13. Now playing.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
And we're back on Right Side Patriots. Craig Andreessen from the National Patriot, Diane Sori from the Patriot Factor. And Diane, well, even though you and I didn't get a Christmas card from Congress, we got a present, huh?
Yeah, we got a big lump in our stocking. We got, folks, a 1,603-page bill that both sides actually had to cave in on certain things, but our side caved in on a lot to get it pushed through, because this is the last act of the Democratic Congress, and hopefully it'll be their last act for many, many years as controllers of the purse strings, if you will. Even though the House controls the purse strings, no matter what we did, the Senate stopped it. The Senate wouldn't allow things to go to the floor. Harry Reid has a pile on his desk of over 350 bills, Republican-initiated bills, that he would not allow to be brought to the floor. So there are a few good things in here, but there are a few very bad things.
Harry Reid's got a pile in his pants.
Harry Reid's so full of it, his eyes are brown, right?
Oh, man. Well, what all's contained in this thing? What kind of Christmas surprises?
Okay, well, let me first read off some of the good things that are in here.
There's good things?
There's a few. The EPA will receive $60 million less than from last fiscal year, and will be forced to cut some of their staff. That's good. Okay. And this is good. There will be no funding for the implementation of a DC-approved legalization of marijuana. Now, that's twofold, because they're talking about recreational marijuana, but I'm one who happens to support medical marijuana because I've seen it in use. And for all you liberal, or I shouldn't say liberal, for all you on our side who are against this, and say you can just take the ingredient out of marijuana and make it in a pill. I hate to tell you this, but a cancer patient cannot even swallow or keep down a sip of water. Turning it into a pill is useless. They need to be able to smoke it. So to me, this one is like a twofold. There is a continuation of the moratorium on internet taxes, which is good, meaning we can't be taxed.
I'm all for that.
It does prevent the bailouts of health insurance companies by prohibiting risk corridors embedded in Obamacare.
Oh.
Now that's good.
That is good.
Okay. Now
what's some of the bad stuff?
Some of the bad stuff. We are going to be giving $500 million to arm the Syrian forces to fight and degrade, in their words, and destroy ISIS. Number one, these Syria forces that they're talking about, these are the ones opposed to Bashar al-Assad. These are the very ones that are in cahoots with ISIS.
I mean,
these
they are
not
ISIS.
True Syrian rebels fighting to overthrow ISIS. These are actually working for ISIS. These are Obama's brethren. Well, he is now giving them $500 million of our taxpayer money. I'm not happy about that.
There goes a Solyndra project right there.
Yes. He's going to allow, the bill is going to allow the permitting of pension reductions for people who have put in all their working lives into their pensions so that they would have a nice nest egg when they retired. Well, now they're not going to be able to put in so much, and their nest eggs are going to be going down.
If you've already put it in, you should be able to get it out. If they want to do something like that, they should do it, advance it so that, starting a certain time in the future, it cuts back. But those who have already put in deserve to get what they've got coming back.
Yes, absolutely. He's also going to be giving, again, I say he, but this is all coming from Obama because we did not have control of the Senate.
Well, yeah.
$2.589 billion is going to the Food and Drug Administration.
To do what? Delay more medications that could save people?
To regulate. Absolutely. Drugs that were on the horizon to help cancer patients, cystic fibrosis patients, to help people with, orphan diseases, they call them. You can forget it. You can forget it because it's going to the Food and Drug Administration for bureaucracy.
That's kind of like giving the post office more money so they can buy some more of those next window please signs.
Yeah, exactly. Now remember, folks, he is giving all this money to 250 million to Syrian rebels. He is giving 3.1 billion to Israel, but with caveats to it. He's not giving it to them. It's a loan. They have to repay it. Okay, our military, the very ones that are fighting to keep us safe and free at home, while Congress and senators make over $175,000 per year with pensions and perks and all the little goodies. Our military, who on average makes $28,000 a year, is getting a whopping 1% increase in their pay.
Wow.
Wow is right. Okay. Now this one I just don't get this one. $6.6 billion for women, infants, and children. That includes a directive to include white potatoes in their diet.
What? Wait. They're giving $6.5 billion.
Yes.
To men, women, and children with this.
I guess that's the name of an initiative of theirs, the Women, Infants, and Children, whatever. It doesn't list whatever. A directive to include white potatoes in their diets.
Well, isn't that racist?
$6 million.
Isn't that racist? White potatoes?
Oh, that's true. White potatoes. Okay.
Well, they do red potatoes, but then people call them the Redskins, and you know what happens then.
That's true. Now here's something to block the production of oil and natural gas.
Naturally.
$15 million to save the sage grouse. This is in an exchange to allow maybe oil and gas exploration only on public lands. No drilling, no helping to cut our dependency on foreign oil. $15 million to save the grouse, just to allow exploration.
This kind of like the turtles over there at the Bundy Ranch.
Yes.
The turtles were safer before the federal government got involved to save them. The grouse are going to be grousing about the government.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just a very short list, guys, of what's in there. There's more. And a certain amount of Republicans sold out to this. Ted Cruz tried to stop this bill from going forward because he found constitutional violations in there.
No kidding.
And he couldn't even get many Republicans to go along with him on the constitutionality of this. This is serious, folks. This is a lump in our stocking. Now, some of those, Republicans were not up for re-election this cycle, but they are coming up in 2 years. And every one of those who voted against him needs to go bye-bye.
This is one of those things where we're going to be paying for this for a long, long time because, we're already $18 trillion in debt. This was a $1.1 trillion spending bill. And, we don't have cash on hand. We're going to have to borrow this money, which means that all American taxpayers are going to have to pay it back sometime.
Yes, and this whole system, the whole way this was pushed through is dirty politics. It's going to harm our economy. It's totally disrespectful to our political process, and there was no public debate allowed on any of this. We, the people, were locked out completely.
It's our money.
It's our taxpayer money, and we had absolutely no say in how our money is spent. Well, you know what? I want my share of those taxpayer dollars back. I don't give them permission to spend my money on things like this, especially arming the enemy. That's treason.
Not only that, we're arming the enemy, and we don't expect to get any of that money back, but we're giving money to our allies and expecting them to pay it back.
Yes. Yes, all these arms that everybody thinks, Israel is getting, and they complain, well, Israel's getting this, but this one isn't. This is loans of money to Israel. This is not freebies like to Syria.
Good grief. Well, it's Christmas Eve, Diane. Do we have any good Christmas news that we can impart on people in the last 5 minutes of the show here today? Because, it's all such doom and gloom, and so much of it is surrounded in recent weeks, the rioting and the anti-police stuff, and there's got to be something good out there that we can leave people with today. It is Christmas Eve, after all.
Well, there is something good about our police. Okay, right now our police are on the receiving end of all sorts of nastiness thanks to Obama, Sharpton, Holder, and de Blasio. They are being slammed everywhere for doing their jobs, and it's a dangerous job. But in Cleveland, Ohio, there's some good news about Ohio police officers who delivered an early Christmas present to some very, very needy children.
Really? What'd they do?
Okay. It started when the Newburgh police were called into the scene by grandparents whose young grandkids were involved in a brother-sister brawl. And it seems that Dominique and Cash Jennings were being what police officer Mike Morella labeled unruly, and Grandpa George and Grandma Ida couldn't break up their fights, and the two kids were upset because they would not have a Christmas since money was tight, and there were no gifts, there were no trees, there was no anything. But when the officers arrived, something very special happened.
Yeah.
Instead of the cops bursting through the doors, like some mainstream media likes to portray the cops, the two walked into the home with a Christmas tree, ornaments, stockings, candy canes, and all sorts of things for the tree, and special presents. Presents with a visit from Santa at their door, and the presents were delivered in a gas-powered Santa sleigh.
Cool.
And this is what our officers do many, many times. They help the needy. This family was hurting. They had no money for Christmas. The children were raised by their grandparents. The mother and father, as happens in certain groups, was gone. And the grandparents were raising them. They were older. They were, it was harder for them to handle these kids. The kids were fighting. And the police officers came to the rescue.
Diane, we see these stories throughout the year, not just at Christmas time, but we see stories of police officers doing just great things. I mean, well above and beyond the protect and serve capacity that they are employed in. And sadly, here in the last couple of months, this stuff has all just been washed away by a bunch of screaming maniacs that are now targeting our police officers. Now, we saluted the military just a little while ago here on the show. I think we need to say Merry Christmas to the men and women of law enforcement as well, because they're doing a tough job here at home. And
Absolutely.
look, folks, if you got to wear a bulletproof vest to work to make sure you come home at night, pretty good chance you're not getting paid enough. And the police, are there bad police officers out there? Of course there are, but they're few and far between. There's almost 1 million police officers in this country, and 99.9% of them are absolutely great servants and great law enforcement officers. And rather than let the loudmouth thugs try to change the way the police do business, I'm saying the police are doing a fine job, and it's the thugs that need to change their thinking.
Yeah, not change their thinking, change their actions. We the people, we're tired of this. We're tired of a small minority within 12% of our population dictating what we the people can and cannot do. And to those thugs that have now closed down Fifth Avenue in New York City, preventing last-minute Christmas shopping, from preventing people from looking at the beautiful store windows on Fifth Avenue, which was kind of a tradition in the city. You need to get a life. You need to face reality. You need to understand we don't owe you anything.
Well, but I'll tell you what, Diane, we do owe a lot of people we know a very Merry Christmas, and that means
yes, we do.
The staff and the management here at CPR Worldwide Media, everybody pulling together, doing the job. Diane and I appreciate everything that CPR has allowed us to do this year.
Yes, and I'd like to wish our CPR family and our listeners a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a joyous and hopefully better New Year's than this country has seen this year. We got a good start with a Republican Congress, and I'd especially like to thank Robert Sanders for helping this computer idiot wrapped in a moron whenever I run into trouble. And I'd also like to thank Michael Collins-Windsor for allowing me and Craig to be on the air and getting out a politically incorrect but truthful message to our listeners.
Well, and thanks you so much to all of our listeners, because literally without you, what we do wouldn't be worth it. And the messages that you send us during the show, after the show, the comments that you make in messages to Diane and myself, we love you guys, and thank you for being with us for so much of this year, and we're looking forward to another whole year of bringing you even more of the truth. So our listeners, you guys are number one. We love you.
Yes, and to my partner, now go chow down on that Christmas meat.
I got a Christmas ham just waiting for me right now, and Christmas Eve ham, and then tomorrow I've got 30 pounds of prime rib staring me right in the face. Now, unfortunately, I don't get to eat all of it. There are a few other people that are going to be showing up, but I'm going to guard my portion of it with a sharp fork. I'll tell you that.
And I have a honey baked turkey ready for Christmas dinner, a Christmas Eve dinner tonight, and an Italian style brisket for company tomorrow, which I won't eat, but it's there for everybody else.
Yep. Diane's a vegetarian. More meat for everybody else.
Yes.
Folks, we want to wish you a great end to Hanukkah and a very, very Merry Christmas this Christmas Eve, and we hope tomorrow brings you everything you've ever dreamed of. So Merry Christmas from Diane and myself, the staff and the management here at CPR Worldwide Media. And with that, Diane, because Christmas has come upon us so fast, one last song to take people home. What do you think?
Okay, and I bet it's a goodie.
Merry Christmas, Diane.
Merry Christmas, Craig.
Hey, man, did you hear that? Hey, everybody, Santa's here! Aw, there ain't no Santa Claus. Yes, there is too, man. He's here!
Merry Christmas, boys!
Red Peter!
Come on, you swinging hamsters, get over here. We're gonna sing us a happy Christmas song.
Oh, no, not another corny, stupid song. Yeah, no way. Dan, you tell him, Ronnie. No way.
Get over here and sing or I'll wring your little neck.
Okay.
So grab your nuts, hamsters, gather round with me. Forget about all that teasing. We're breaking out the holly and aluminum tree, 'cause it's that jolly season. I know you've been naughty, but have you been nice? That's only Santa's business.
That's right, Red.
He's making his list and he's checking it twice. Holy shit, it's Christmas.
Santa comes just once a year.
Tell him, hamster.
Just like you, Red. That's what we hear.
Hey, wait a
He's got a soft spot for reindeer.
Oh, that's nice.
Especially Rudolph's derriere.
Hey, knock it off, fellas, it's a holiday. Go on and give Santa a big kiss.
No way.
You can play hide the hamster on a one-horse sleigh.
Hey, wait a minute.
Holy shit, it's Christmas. Hey, what happened to my lyric sheet? Anyone seen my lyrics?
Heck, we don't need no lyric sheets, Red. We know our parts by heart. Right, fellas? Yeah, sure. I know my parts, Godfrey. Yeah, me too.
Well, that's great, guys. I love Christmas songs.
Santa tried reaching up the neighbor's blouse after drinking all the eggnog.
Is that necessary?
Camped out in the bathroom for an hour or two, squashing off a Yule log.
Godfrey!
Wandered in his undies all over the house, but we minded our own business. Till we got something hamsters up a gift wrap too.
Holy shit, it's Christmas. Santa comes just once a year. Up the chimney, he'll disappear.
Keep on the lookout for Mr. Gear. Hamster deliveries in the rear.
Roast nuts chesting on an open fire. Santa's tongue stuck to the doorknob. What? His balls got funneled by a caroling choir while the parson gave him a hand. What? The sleigh came